Your husband cannot provide this, call daddy. Oh, it's your birthday, call daddy. Oh, I really want this house, call daddy. I want this car, call daddy. Have you ever been in a relationship with a daddy's girl? Or are you a daddy's girl yourself? Protected, sheltered, provided for, have everything at your beck and call. Maybe you're not rich. Maybe you didn't come from a rich background, but you're just covered. Or you're the last one. So that is literally the summary of the movie we are going to be reviewing today. So buckle up, it's an eventful ride. Hello and welcome to the Reviews Corner, where we review and dissect movies, stories, everything that tells stories. Here we don't just watch or read for entertainment, we learn, unlearn, and we grow. This is a subsidiary of the Eden Global Productions, where we feature stories that God wants to tell, and it's a sister to the Safe Space podcast. Hi, I'm your host, Igbinlade Timlua Princess, the Storyshower. You're welcome. This movie we're going to be reviewing today is by a very dear person to me. I mean, how have I come this far in the Reviews Corner and publishing episodes and have not reviewed this person's movie? How? I love her boldness to tell the stories that she tells, and in fact, she is nicknamed the Lord's Storyteller. You already know who this person is, Laju Iren. Yes, Pastor Laju Iren is the person that wrote or produced this movie, and the title of this movie is You versus Me. You already know how we do it. It's a 6-pointer movie review where we learn lessons across the storyline, the characters, a spotlight character, a spotlight scene, spotlight lines if there is any, and yes, what could have been portrayed better. So we learn lessons, whether it's about the writing or it's about the movie itself, or lessons that could be applied to our lives. Alright, let's get right into it. You versus Me is a story about a young couple who just got married. They just got married and they are being invaded. Now, no, I'm joking. It's not by robbers, armed robbers, or anything like that. They are being invaded by the father-in-law, the father of the wife, who happens to be a daddy's girl and a Gen Z. And the father of the wife seems like the one providing for the home. For the wife. Basically, that is what You versus Me is about. And this movie taught me a lot about boundaries, not just in relationships, like romantic relationships, not just in friendships, but generally across any kinds of relationship, the importance and the need for boundaries, to know, oh, this is where you are, this is where you stay in, this is the confines of our relationship. Do not cross across or the border of this relationship to another relationship. Knowing all of those intricacies and how to manage relationships, this movie taught me that, and it's just less than an hour movie where you can find on Laju Iren films. Okay, let's dive right into the characters. Now, we have Ovie. Ovie is the husband. Ovie is acted by Bayo Royal, however I pronounce his surname. I'm so sorry if I just murdered it. Ovie is the husband in the movie, like I said. Really patient guy. He just wants to love his wife. He just wants to build his home. He just wants to provide for his wife. He just wants to be the only person that his wife looks up to. He just wants to be the only person that his wife is like, oh my God, my husband did this for me, and she should my husband everybody to death. Not to death, not to actual death, you get what I mean. But that is what he wants. That is his goal. That's the character's goal. That is all that he desired, to build a loving family or a loving home with his wife. They just got married. But I feel like this particular guy, because there was a flashback to him actually noticing this supposed red flag, which is actually not a red flag, but supposed something that could have been talked about in the relationship. But it's just like, oh, maybe when we get married, we will change. Alas, she did not.
Small wedding. Yes. What do you mean by small wedding? No child of mine will have a small wedding. What could be the problem? Is the money? If it is money, don't worry, I will cater for everything.
No, sir, we wouldn't have to bother you. I can handle it.
But I insist. Nancy is my only daughter, and I will not settle for anything less.
But yes, let's move on right to our daddy's girl. So Nancy acted by Miracle Inyoda or Inyanda. So sorry once again. So we have his wife, Nancy. Nancy is the daddy's girl. She's the Gen Z. I love that this movie created this character because it's so relatable. It's so relatable, and I love that the movie also addressed the issue of boundaries or parental boundaries without the usual, oh, mother-in-law, busybody, this thing. It's now father-in-laws, and it's not, oh, actually, Nancy in this movie is not the spoiled girl. She's not spoiled, but she just came from provision. She has been provided for, and so maybe she missed it in some ways, how that she has all that she has, or how that she can get whatever she wants to get, no stress and all of those things. And so, I mean, you will think it is normal that, okay, now you're married, oh, your husband can't get you this, call daddy. Your husband cannot provide this, call daddy. Oh, it's your birthday, call daddy. Oh, I really want this house, call daddy. I want this car, call daddy.
Man,
Why don't you come pick up your gift at my office later today?
can I pick it up later?
But I thought you would rather be the first to drive your new car.
A car? Daddy, you got me a car? Daddy got me a car. Okay. Thank you so much, Daddy. I'll come pick it up myself.
And that has been our way of life. That has been, she didn't even need to ask for the things that she has. But now it seems like as though, oh, the things that she wants that are luxurious, they're not necessarily needs. It's not as if her husband is not providing for her or doing what she wants or doing everything that he has to do to make her comfortable. But it's just that there are just some luxurious things that she had been used to, or that she had always gotten, that it's just absurd that she doesn't have them now. And so that's just Nancy, her character. And then we have Nancy's friend. This is very fun because I always love a friend that is the voice of reason. But you see this character, it's not any kind of any voice of reason, anything. She is the opposite of a voice of reason. So Tina is Nancy's friend, acted by Revival Edu Gayen, and she is the
So Tina is the person that is always putting expectations in Nancy's mind and always being like, oh, your marriage should be this. Oh, why is your husband not doing this and doing that? So like I said, she's the opposite of a voice of reason character, and she will place certain expectations in the mind of Nancy. Meanwhile, our marriage was not even anything perfect. Our marriage was not even close to the expectations or the unreal unrealistic expectations that she was placing in Nancy's mind. You will think, oh, her husband does same for her. That is why. No, at all. But yeah, we're going to get right to that. And so lastly, we now have Nancy's Dad by Raphael Niyi Stephen. Raphael Niyi Stephen. So we have Nancy's Dad. Nancy's Dad is just a chill dad. I just want to provide for my daughter. She's my only child. She's my last child. She's my last born. She's my baby. I just want to provide for her. If she doesn't spend my money, who will? I just want them to be comfortable. And so he expected their marriage to be perfect for his daughter to stay in, or the situation of her husband to be perfect, that is Ovie, for his daughter to be able to marry him. And so all of these unrealistic expectations that was placed, and he want to help would always want to help Ovie in his business or at work. Okay, what are you doing? What's it?
But everything is just always coming as what it's coming as handouts, it's coming as him intimidating the young man. Sometimes you just need to take a step back and allow this new family figure things out themselves.
What's that smell? What's that, sir? That's your pride.
But yes, I love Nancy's dad because who doesn't want a rich father that knows how to spend this morning? All right, our spotlight character. As much as I'm a parent's girl, a daddy's girl, because I'm a daddy's girl as much as I'm a mommy's girl. I'm a brother's girl too. I'm a family girl. I'm an egg. But anyways, as much as I'm this, but I'm not anyhow like Nancy, please. But as much as I'm this, Nancy's not my spotlight character. Do you know who my spotlight character is? I feel like you know it already. It is Ovie. My spotlight character is Ovie because I liked how that he transformed from the character that received whatever it is that was handed to him, like life, like his marriage is not doing this well, and his father-in-law is treating him this way. Takes it in. By the time he would grow his spine and literally like fight back what belongs to him, you'd be like, oh, I didn't know you had it in you. That was the kind of character Ovie was in this movie You versus Me, and I loved how he just like, I'm not going to sit back for you to just talking down at me and did this. I loved it, and he did it respectfully as well, because at the end of the day, I begged to marry her. Yoruba will say mo bebefe. I begged to marry her, so please.
With all due respect, I like to do things on my own terms. And I don't see anything wrong in that.
So our spotlight scene. My spotlight scene would be when Nancy was sick and missed the fight. So something happened which I don't want to spoil the movie for you, but Nancy and her husband Ovie had a really tough fight where Nancy didn't see where she was wrong, but Ovie was actually right in this situation, but he was taking it too far, and so he wanted to able to show her where what she did was wrong, and so they had a fight, not talking, silent treatment. He was not sleeping in the room, sleeping on the couch, and they were just not talking. They were just having that fight, and she's like she's sorry, but he wanted her to see why she was sorry. Do you get me? But in the midst of this fight, Nancy gets sick. And I loved that. It might not even be anyone's what they would think a spotlight scene should be, but I love how that it was portrayed in such a way that we are fighting. It's not that we should die or that we should kill each other. Yoruba will say that I don't know how to put it, please forgive me for that. So yeah, and I love that they portrayed how that love transcends all of these, that you're fighting or that you want to prove a point or that your anger is justified or righteous should not mean that the care and the love should go out of the window. And because it is actually like that for some people, to most of us, we're like, oh, it's normal. I mean, if you're fighting and you're sick or there's something I need to help you with, I should put away my anger or the grudge and be able to help you out. But to some people, their emotion, care, love, everything out of the window. The only thing that is heightened at that point, the only emotion that is heightened at that point is their anger, their righteous anger, and so every other care is thrown out of the window. So that is my spotlight scene. That is the scene that I want us to focus on or draw out lessons from it about how we should be, not just in marriage, not just in friendships, even in platonic relationships. Platonic in the sense that you're not close with this person, even with our acquaintance. We should not throw out any other kind of emotion, and let your grudge or your fights be quick immediately. There is this thing there is this thing that I realized is my practice or habit, in that when I'm angry with someone, give or take maybe an hour or just a few minutes after, I just realize that you should not have. Is it that, like, I really don't know how to stay angry like that. I'm just trying to make a joke of the situation, and then before you know it, I just gone, I want to check if we are cool. Hi, I'll talk to the person. If it's my brother, I'll go and disturb him. If it's my mom, I'll go and hug her, or I'll go and talk to her that, okay, well, what are you doing? What are we going to eat? Or, oh, do you want to eat this thing? I want to do I'll try and just like make sure that let's just finish this fight and get it over it. And if it's my friends, or if it's something that needs to be talked about, I'm always wanting to, like, before I would not necessarily want to talk about it. I would just want us to forget about it and behave and just do like as though it did not exist. Let's just get over it, because I don't know how to confront situations like that. But recently I've been learning how to talk it out, confront the situation, communicate our interests or opinions. And yes, in fact, there is an episode that is going to be out soon on the Safe Space podcast, and that is God's love in friendship, and I have shed more light on this. So yes, that is my spotlight scene. Now let's move on to what could have been portrayed better. What could have been portrayed better? So there was a scene, I mentioned that Tina, yes, Tina, that is Nancy's friend, was an hypocrite, and she didn't have a perfect marriage and was trying to place unrealistic expectations of what a marriage should be like on her friend. And so yes, there was a scene where Nancy found out or was hearing some noises of fighting or beating or something like that. Coming from Tina's apartment, and she was just surprised. I'm like, wow, and just left it. And then the next time they were going to have a confrontation, or Tina was going to say another kind of comment on Nancy's husband, she just shut off and be like, go and take over your own marriage soon. And I know that writers, or when a writer portrays a scene like that, it's not like as though they are trying to pass across their own opinion on matters like that, or they are trying to pass across a message that you should run with. But still, domestic abuse, I do not think is something that should be seen as Nancy's hypocrisy, because is it really on her that she is facing that in a marriage? And maybe she didn't know how to approach it. Maybe she wanted those unrealistic expectations that she was trying to portray to her friend to also be in a marriage. Maybe she didn't know how to voice out. But I understand that is not what the writer has come here to tell us. That is not the message. I mean, that would have been by the side kind of message. Maybe one or two lines from Nancy saying that, are you sure you don't want to look for a solution to this? Do you need help? Or something like that. Maybe you could have passed a better message, if you can understand what I'm saying. But I'm sure she didn't mean it to be. I'm sure that message, or because I mean, we don't have to have a perfect character as Nancy trying to help everybody. That is out of character for her. But I mean, as a friend, if you hear that, it should not be something like, oh, so your marriage is not even good. That kind of thing. So that's what I just felt like could have been portrayed better, or that scene, or that message, or that part of the story. Anyways, we've come to the end of this movie review. I mean, it's short, right? We've come to the end of this movie review talking about you versus me. If you're in a relationship or you're preparing to get married or you're already married and you're probably facing situations of parental boundary issues, whether coming from your father-in-law or your mother-in-law or from your own mother, and you've been trying to stop it and your spouse is not happy with you about it, this is a movie that you need to watch. First of all, please go for counseling. Talk about it. Communication is very, very key. Let your spouse know that you see them. They are not, because one thing at the very beginning that Nancy was doing that was wrong was making it seem like as though Ovie was wrong in feeling the things he was feeling, like, oh, now it's just that, it's just trying to look out for us.
I can't take it.
Babe, we need this money now.
Babe, I'm the head of this house. I can take care of us.
I'm not saying you can't. Dad just wants to help. Okay, should I have turned it?
Yes.
Babe.
Like as though their feelings were not valid, or like as though as though what they were observing was wrong, or like they were insane to have thought of it, or like they were creating issues out of something that were not existing. So have communication, that you actually see your partner or you see your spouse, you understand what you're feeling, and you know these things are happening, and okay, I want to work with you to get this out of the way. Do you understand? And so yes, please watch the movie. You can find it on Laju Iren Films on YouTube. Yes, on YouTube. So it's not, you don't have to pay to go and watch it. And it's a very, very phenomenal movie to have been gotten for free. So please watch it. And yes, tell me what you think. Thank you so much for your support so far. Tell me what you think. Like this video, share it, comment on this video, share it with your friends or family, subscribe to this channel, and turn on the notification bell to have or see more videos like this. Please, all of these support me and they go a long way. Thank you so much once again. I am Jemimahthewriter, the Storyshower, and until next time, bye.